Daichi opened his apartment door to the last face he ever expected to see.
Can I hear it beat once?
Who are you? Why are you here?
I am Hina, the daughter of the man whose heart is beating inside you right now.
Daichi's hand rose to his chest, pressing against the scar hidden beneath his shirt.
Please, I am not here to ask for anything back. I just need to feel it just once. That's all I ask.
Her father's heart. This heart, it belonged to her father.
The old photograph trembled in her grip, edges worn from countless nights of holding it.
I spent a whole year searching for you. Please, I can't leave without this.
Daichi stood frozen in the doorway, the golden afternoon light catching the tears on her face, and the only sound was the silence that followed her plea. Daichi stepped aside, and Hina entered the quiet apartment, the photograph clutched to her chest. He closed the door. When he turned back, her hand was already reaching for him, her palm pressed flat against his shirt, right over the place where his heart beat the hardest.
It's really there. I can feel it.
A sob broke from her throat as the steady rhythm pulsed against her fingers.
Dad, I found him. I found your heart.
Daichi didn't move, didn't breathe. Tears slid silently down his own face.
I am sorry. I know this is too much. I just needed to know it was still alive.
She didn't pull her hand away. Neither of them wanted the moment to end. The golden light filled the room, and the only sound was the heartbeat they both held on to. Finally, Hina pulled her hand away and sat on the edge of the sofa, the photograph trembling in her lap.
Hospitals have strict rules, but I couldn't just let him disappear without a trace. I searched online archives, old news reports, patient forums, anything that could link the date and time to someone.
She held out the photograph. The man in the picture had kind eyes and a patient smile.
This is him. The reason I am still breathing.
He died in an accident on the same night you received your transplant. I pieced together the timeline from fragments.
I didn't even know his age, his name, nothing.
His name was Haruki, and he was the kind of person who always kept his promises.
Daichi stared at Haruki's face until the edges of the photograph blurred against the afternoon light.
I am not here to take anything back. I just needed you to know that he existed.
Hina rose from the sofa and smoothed the creases from her navy dress. The old photograph slipped back into her pocket, hidden from view.
Thank you for letting me stay. I know this was a lot. I won't trouble you anymore.
Trouble me? You think this is trouble? You spent a year looking for me, and now you are just going to vanish?
I didn't have a choice. I had to know. But I can't ask you to carry my grief too.
You are not asking. I am asking. Tell me about him. Tell me what I need to know to make all of this make sense.
You really want to know? Even the painful parts? About how he died? About the mistakes I made trying to find you?
I want to know everything. I've been living someone else's life for a year. The least I can do is learn who that someone was.
A long silence stretched between them. Then Hina pulled out her phone and opened a new contact.
Then, here is my number. Text me. Call me when you are ready. I won't hold you to anything.
After she left, Daichi sat against the door, hand over his heart. The heartbeat was steady, but the world had tilted off its axis. A week later, they sat on a park bench beneath a canopy of golden autumn leaves.
Whenever I cried as a child, my father would make me rice balls and tell me the worst storms pass the fastest.
He sounds like a patient man. Something I am not sure I would have been in his place.
Oh, he had a silly side too. He'd hum old pop songs while cooking, completely off-key, and refuse to admit it.
A man who hummed while cooking, who comforted his daughter with rice balls. And I've done nothing but exist.
He never let small joys pass him by. Every sunset, every good meal, he'd stop and appreciate it like it was his first.
Daichi watched a single leaf spiral down between them, and for a moment, he felt like an imposter in his own body.
He gave me this heart, and what have I done with it? Drifted through days, afraid to live.
There's a reason he became a donor. It wasn't just a checkbox on a form, but maybe I shouldn't say more yet.
That single unfinished sentence hung in the air, heavier than any autumn silence. The autumn wind pushed them toward a quiet coffee shop. Inside, the warmth felt like borrowed comfort.
My father became a donor because he knew what it meant to lose someone without a chance.
What kind of loss makes a person sign that paper without hesitation?
Someone who never got the call. Someone who waited, and the wait just ended.
Every time her voice cracks, I see a reflection of the life I've been wasting.
That's why it wasn't just a checkbox. It was a promise he made to himself after that loss.
He made a promise. What kind of promise does a man make to the dead?
To be the kind of person who gives someone else the tomorrow his own loved one never got.
She's holding back a name, a face, but I can't push her. Not yet.
Daichi realized he had no answer for what he would do with the tomorrow he'd been given. The question followed him home that night. Daichi led Hina into his cramped bathroom, flicked on the cold light, and pulled his shirt up to his collarbone.
This scar, your father's last gift. Without it, I wouldn't be standing here.
His voice didn't waver as he described the years of hospital rooms, the machines, the endless waiting.
Before the transplant, I spent 3 years watching the world through hospital windows. I forgot what hope felt like.
But you waited. You held on until the night the phone rang.
Waited? I was a ghost, haunting a body that was already failing. And he was alive, living, until he gave everything for a stranger.
Hina's reflection appeared beside his in the mirror. Her eyes were wet, but steady.
You don't get to decide. You are not worth it. He already decided. And so did I, the moment I found you.
The bathroom fan droned. Neither of them moved. Daichi lowered his shirt, but the scar felt less like a wound and more like a thread tying him to something larger than himself. The cardiologist's office smelled of antiseptic and bad coffee. Daichi sat still as the stethoscope pressed against his scar. The heartbeat was strong. For a moment, Daichi was back in recovery, waking to that same rhythm for the first time.
I never asked whose heart it was. Not once. I just took it and ran from the question.
His voice came out steadier than he felt. Can you tell me anything about the donor? Even just a first name? The doctor's fingers stopped. The pause was the answer before the words.
The wall is made of paper forms and legal signatures. But it's still a wall.
I am sorry. Privacy regulations. Daichi had expected it, but the confirmation still cut. He left the clinic with a prescription for vitamins and an emptiness no scan could detect. At home, he placed Haruki's photograph on the table and stared until the world outside the window went dark.
His name is Haruki. He had a daughter. He kept a promise, but I can't keep a promise. I don't know.
His phone buzzed. Hina's name appeared on the screen, and he answered before the second ring.
Daichi, can you meet me? There's something I need to show you. Something about my father.
An hour later, they stood before the small wooden shrine in the corner of Hina's family home. Incense curled upward, and the low light caught 2 framed photographs resting against dark wood. The first was Haruki. The second was a young man with Haruki's eyes, his younger brother Riku.
Uncle Riku. He died when I was a child, waiting for a transplant that never came.
The silence in the room deepened as Daichi's pulse answered the memory.
After that, my father signed the donor card. He said it was a promise to his brother, that no one else would wait in vain.
Daichi looked at the 2 frames. He was no longer just a recipient. He was the fulfillment of a promise made to the dead.
This heart isn't a gift. It's a promise I have to keep.
Daichi knelt before the shrine and closed his eyes. The incense filled his lungs like a prayer.
Haruki, Riku, I'll live a life that honors your sacrifice. I swear it.
When he opened his eyes, Hina was watching him, her own tears drying on her cheeks.
What did you say to them?
I promised them I'd stop wasting their gift. I'll find a way to give back.
I want to help. Whatever you decide, I'll be there.
Then let's meet again. Regularly. We owe it to them to carry this together.
They exchanged a look that held no romance, only the weight of a shared obligation. As they left the shrine, the incense still burning, the two photographs seemed to watch them go. Outside, the night air was cold, but Daichi's chest felt warmer than it had in a year. Daichi found the address on a faded flyer. The door read, Second Beat Foundation. Inside, the office was cluttered with pamphlets and gratitude letters. A man with glasses looked up and smiled.
A new face. You are here about advocacy, or are you a recipient yourself?
I received a heart a year ago. I want to learn how to give something back.
You are already living proof. But I get it. I was where you are. It took me years to find my voice.
Kenji rolled up his sleeve, revealing a surgical scar along his forearm.
Kidney recipient. I spoke for the first time at a small community event. Changed my life. Changed others too.
If he can stand in front of a room and share his scars, why can't I? Haruki's promise demands more than silence.
Here, take this. When you are ready, come back. We need people who understand the weight of the gift.
Daichi left the office with the pamphlet clutched in his hand, the weight of possibility heavier than the paper. That evening, they sat across a small table at the same coffee shop, but this time the warmth felt fragile.
Kenji said I could speak at a community event to share my story. He thinks it could help people.
That's wonderful, but will you still have time for this? For us?
What do you mean, us? We've been through so much together. Why would that change?
That's just it. Is it because of him? Because of my father's heart? Not because of me?
She's asking the question I've been too scared to ask myself. I don't know. Right now, all I know is that I want you in my life, beyond the heart.
But what if you realize later it was only obligation keeping you here?
Neither of them had an answer. The coffee grew cold between them, and the silence felt heavier than any words. They left the shop that night with a shadow that hadn't been there before, the question hanging between them unanswered. That night, Daichi fell into a sleep so dark it pulled him under like a riptide. In the dream, he lay in a hospital bed, his old heart withering, machines beeping slower with each passing breath. The monitor flatlined. He saw Haruki's tear-streaked face and Riku dying alone, the silence of wasted years flooding the room.
I am wasting it. Their sacrifice, their promise. I am letting it all crumble.
He woke gasping, hand clamped over his chest, the phantom flatline still shrieking in his ears. He grabbed his phone and dialed Hina. The screen lit up his trembling face.
Hina, I can't do this. There's this weight. If I don't act, I'll fail them. Fail you.
You won't fail. I told you before, I'll be there. Whatever you choose, I'll stand beside you.
Then I am doing it. I am speaking for them, and I am asking you, will you stand with me? Not just tonight, but always.
Through the phone, he heard her exhale. The silence that followed was the kind that builds bridges, not walls. Months later, Daichi stood behind a wooden podium in a small community hall, the pamphlet from Kenji's office tucked into his pocket. His hands trembled against the microphone. But when he opened his mouth, the words came from a place deeper than fear.
A year ago, I received a heart transplant. I woke up with a stranger's life beating inside me. And I didn't know his name. For months, I hid. Then his daughter found me. She asked one thing, to hear her father's heartbeat one more time.
In the front row, a woman covered her mouth, shoulders shaking. The room fell into a thick, breath-held silence. From the back, Hina watched, tears falling freely, but her smile was brighter than the stage lights.
This heart isn't just a gift. It's a promise. A man's promise to his dead brother that no one else would wait in vain.
A ripple of gasps moved through the crowd. An older man in the corner removed his glasses. When Daichi finished, the applause was thunderous. He touched his chest and felt the steady rhythm that had carried him here. And somewhere in the applause, he heard Hina's voice and knew he had finally started to keep the promise. After the last handshake, they walked home together, the autumn leaves crunching underfoot in the fading light.
Daichi, wait. There's something I need to say. I love you. Not because of him, because of you. The man you chose to become.
Hina, I love you too. But what if you are only here because of this heart?
I am here because you cried for my father. Because you fought to keep his promise. That's not the heart. That's you.
Daichi took her hand and pressed it to his chest, where the heartbeat answered for him, and then there was no distance left to question. When they parted, the world felt steadier than it had in over a year.
You are not just keeping his promise. You are making one of your own.
They walked on, hand in hand, the heartbeat between them no longer a question. The next morning, Daichi returned to the Second Beat Foundation office. Kenji was already at his desk, sorting pamphlets.
Kenji, I need your advice. Not about advocacy, about her.
The donor's daughter. I saw her at the talk. What's weighing on you?
I love her. But how do I know? It's not just because she's tied to this heart. Is that fair to her?
Love doesn't come with a purity test. The way you met is unusual, but the feeling you have now, that's yours.
Yours, not his, not borrowed.
You are not betraying the donor by loving her. You are honoring him by building something real.
So it's okay to want a future with her? To ask her to be part of my life completely?
Kenji smiled and placed a hand on Daichi's shoulder. Daichi left the office with a lighter step. He knew what he had to do. That evening, Daichi led Hina to the park where they'd first sat together months ago, the twilight softening the world around them.
Hina, this heart beat for your father, and now it beats for you. Will you let it beat for you the rest of our lives?
He opened the small box, the ring catching the last light.
Yes. 1,000 times yes. Not because of the heart, because of you.
She knelt too, and they held each other, tears mingling with laughter.
I promise to live out every day of this borrowed life, honoring your father and loving you.
And I promise to build a future with you that isn't defined by loss, but by love.
He slipped the ring onto her finger, and it fit like it had always belonged there. For the first time, the weight in his chest felt like hope instead of obligation. They stayed in the park until the stars appeared, the heartbeat between them a promise now sealed. The wedding garden bloomed with white roses and morning light. Daichi waited at the altar, his pulse steady but electric. When the music swelled, Hina appeared like a vision in white, her father's locket resting against her heart. Every step she took toward him carried the weight of a year of searching and a lifetime of finding. At the altar, she didn't wait for the vows. She lifted her hand and pressed it to his chest.
Thank you for letting me hear it again. It sounds even sweeter now.
It's been yours since the moment you knocked on my door.
Her tears fell, but they were no longer grief. They were the proof that love could bloom from the deepest loss. The minister began the ceremony, but in that quiet moment, the truest vows had already been exchanged. Daichi lifted her hand from his chest and kissed her palm. Then they turned to face the future together. The golden afternoon light wrapped around them, the same light that had witnessed their first broken hello. The minister smiled and asked them to face each other, to speak the words that would bind their lives.
Thank you for letting me hear it.
Daichi took her hand and pressed it firmly against his chest, the heartbeat strong beneath her palm.
With this heart that once belonged to your father, I vow to honor his memory and love you for all my days.
With this hand that once reached for my father's heartbeat, I vow to build a future with you, grateful for every moment.
The minister's voice rang clear. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. The garden erupted in applause as Daichi drew her into their first kiss as a married couple. Her hand never left his chest, and the heartbeat raced beneath their joined palms. Among the guests, Kenji wiped his eyes, and Hina's mother held the old photograph of Haruki to her heart. The golden afternoon light gathered around them like a blessing, as if Haruki himself was present in every beat of the heart that now belonged to them both. At the reception, Daichi rose from his seat and raised a glass, the room falling silent.
2 years ago, a woman knocked on my door and asked to hear her father's heart. That moment changed everything. I learned that this heart isn't just a gift. It was a promise Haruki made to his brother, that no one else would wait in vain. To keep that promise, Hina and I are starting the Haruki Heart Foundation. It will advocate for donors and support recipient families.
Hina's mother pressed the old photograph to her lips, shoulders shaking with silent sobs.
Haruki gave me tomorrows, and I swear to spend every one of them making sure his promise lives on. Please raise your glasses with me.
The applause was a wave that seemed to carry Haruki's name across the room. Later, when the first dance began, Daichi pulled Hina close, their palms pressed over the steady rhythm.
It's still beating for us.
They danced as if every step was a thank you. The heartbeat, the only music they needed. A year later, beneath a bright community fair tent, Daichi and Hina stood side by side at a transplant awareness booth.
I was 30 when I received my heart. Every day since then has been a gift I never expected. You'll do incredible things.
The young boy touched his own scar and smiled uncertainly, then nodded with a little more courage. Hina watched from the booth, her hand resting unconsciously over her own heart. Later that evening, in the quiet of their apartment, Hina handed Daichi a small wrapped box. Inside was a silver heart-shaped locket. When he opened it, Haruki's face smiled back at him.
It's the photo from the shrine. I wanted you to carry him with you. Always.
Daichi fastened the chain around his neck, the locket resting exactly over his heart. They stood together. The original photograph of Haruki on the shelf behind them, his presence woven into their home. Daichi pressed her hand to the locket, and they listened to the heartbeat that had bound them from the very first day. Backstage at the gala, Daichi touched the locket beneath his suit, the heartbeat steady against his fingers.
They're ready for you.
He stepped onto the stage, and on the massive screen behind him, Haruki's kind face appeared, illuminated. The photograph seemed to watch over the hall as a groundswell of applause rose from the crowd. He raised a hand and silence fell. No speech, just a shared minute for every donor and every family. A soft heartbeat line traced across the screen, overlaying the photograph in golden light.
Kept the promise.
In the front row, Hina pressed her hand to her own heart, her eyes glistening, a silent thank you. As the lights dimmed, Daichi and Hina stood before the image, hands entwined, the heartbeat the only sound. The heart had been a stranger's promise. Now it was simply home.